Hi, my name is Monica and I'm from the Partner Solutions Consulting team at Appian. In this video, I'd like to summarize the benefit that Appian has realized to financial services when it comes to automation of their internal audit processes to date. The internal audit process is quite a complex exercise as it involves evidencing risk coverage across the organization for various regulators. So being able to carry out investigation of the risk situations of all the auditable units or entities within an organization at the real time is some things that financial regulators are demanding. And so one of the challenges associated with internal audit is the disjointment between the audit universe and the execution of the internal audit process itself. Historically, companies relied on Excel copies stored locally, indicating the risk situation against auditable units and entities within the organization. This then made the data investigation process quite a manual exercise, highly prone to errors and requiring a lot of effort to keep track on and kind of like constantly manage the different versions of data in Excel compared to the processing tool. And so by bringing these together, by linking the audit universe, the risks assessments, and the audit data, effectively we are allowing that transparency of risk coverage. So at any point we are able to evidence which risks do we have outstanding to cover for our planning year and how many have we already covered. We can also focus to the work at risk. Another challenge associated with internal audit is the fact that various specialist skills are required in order to perform an internal investigation. For example, a single audit might require soliciting feedback from a legal consultant, systems engineer, and a tax auditor. And so providing automation for internal audit within Appian allows us to surface that data together and understand for each auditor what is a specific talent they already have developed and trained, and also what are the gaps as an organization that we have based on the required skills for audits we have planned in the future. Do we have enough talent to pull from to be able to staff those audits, to be able to carry out the work on time? So throughout this demonstration, you're going to see how resource management and allocation plays into the end-to-end process of internal audit, ensuring accuracy, but also availability in the exercise of the so-called agile audits that you're able to carry out ad hoc. And so, this is about continuously ensuring that the right people are available at the right time. Now, because it's all integrated and digitized, we can then surface various metrics directly from the tool as well. So then we can focus on specific region and understand what audits are carried to date and what entities or units are relevant for that specific region also. Because this all runs in Appian, we are leveraging the central of our capabilities, so the workflow and process analytics over here, to understand the workload of the teams that are responsible for audits. So how are the iterations going month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year? And then potentially, do we have a certain team members being overwhelmed, or perhaps others that we can optimize their schedule a little bit further. Once the work of audit itself is carried out, the system allows us visibility and tracking of the issues and actions that have arisen as a result to the audit. So this is something that the business needs to do as a response to what the internal audit team has found while carrying out the audit. So again, having the ability to bring that feedback here, whether through authenticated or perhaps anonymous access, anyone within the organization be able to solicit feedback over here. There are various ways in which you can expose this to the business users based on your security requirements, based on your company or organization considerations. And so end-to-end, from planning, coverage, skills management, into the issues assigned at the business, Appian is giving you that central place for your internal auditing teams where you can do the work a lot more efficient. And so in terms of the impact to date, we've seen that because teams have been able to analyze the real-time data across systems, unify the audit universe digitally, resource skills match, and also automate across the various risks that are required to be managed. With low-code, customers are now able to implement this in an average time frame of 5 months, where we've seen anywhere between 2 and 6 months for this implementation. As we have digitized the audit universe, this is something that's available for us in the same place that the audit work will be carried out. So at each point here, we can go ahead and indicate a change in the risk. So this is more than just another, customer relationship system or an ERM tool that presents a lot of data. Over here, you can see what data says, but you can also make decisions and indicate changes here, consulting the internal audit methodology and understanding the macro environment. For example, do we need to bump up people risk due to the COVID-19 pandemic? This will be one example as to why we are assessing that specific area of the business potentially having high risk. And once we've done that, we are then able to go ahead and plan our next audit. And at an audit level, we're able to certify here which specific areas of the business are relevant to the audit we are planning to carry out. And specifically at the risk node level, what are those ratings that are relevant to the work that we're going to carry out? From planning, and this will look at who's responsible from a business perspective for that specific audit that we're planning, who is the lead that is going to manage the team, what is the average duration that we're estimating. This is then later going to inform the suggested assignment of specific individuals that are available with some specialized skills that we need for our internal audit case here. And so the second portion of planning is really looking into more details of the methodology and selecting, specific evidence of how are we planning to carry out this control. So I'm going to say that this will be perhaps a financial audit, and I'm going to give it a medium priority and say that this will look at accounts management. And then the second part of this will be pulling the specific controls based on the risk we've selected. We can then indicate potentially, what specialist skills we require to be able to evidence that that risk is being looked at, is being audited, is being controlled. And based on the specific ways we decide to mitigate those risks, this will inform the skills matching also. So in this case, I'm going to need auditors that have VAT, operational taxes, and employment taxes skills to be able to check the tax information of the specific entity. And so overall, this is giving the teams that single place so that they can end-to-end go from planning from looking at the results of the previous auditing period into the future based on their ever-changing needs, based on the changes of regulations, and unifying the auditable entity data together with the audit execution data. So hopefully you are able to appreciate how much time this can save to internal audit teams, and kind of Appian being that partner of innovation throughout your journey as internal audit regulations are changing and as the methodology is also changing. Thank you.